freaking out, but next time you see me, I'll take my test. I'm back, which means only one thing. I'm done with my NCLEX. I got 75 questions, and that's about all I can tell you guys. My stomach did drop because I started to get a bunch of case study questions, and those weren't a part of the exam, and I was pretty sure that the lady at the beginning told me that that would come up, and I really didn't feel like taking those, so I just raised my hand and she let me in the exam there. But for a minute I was so confused because I was getting all these case study questions. But 75, guys, either means I did fine or I really bombed it. So yeah, I will check in with you guys in a little bit to talk about how the morning's gone and how I'm feeling. But right now we're trying to get jumper cables for my father. Hey guys, so I'm back. As you can tell, I've changed my outfit. I was in joggers and a long sleeve black shirt, which was great for the testing building that I was in since it was so cold. But then it got really hot because it was like 80 degrees by the time I came back out and met my dad in the truck. So I changed so I feel better. I'm not as sweaty. I was definitely sweating a lot from anxiety afterwards, but I'm here to tell you guys how my NCLEX went. So basically, I went into the testing center just with my ID. I left my phone in the car. It was just me and knowledge, as the guy said when I got there, other than my little ID. And that's all you need other than a mask, obviously. And they basically check you in. I don't know if it's different at every testing place, but they check you in. They sit you down. Sometimes they'll give you a pair of headphones and an erasable whiteboard, except you're not supposed to erase on the whiteboard. You're supposed to fill it up and leave it like that, and if you use up the whole thing, then you raise your hand and somebody will come and switch out the whiteboard for you. So I got there, went through that process, sat down, and I was shaking so bad. But I just started going through the questions, and I can't talk to you guys about the questions, obviously, but I will say that I never felt confident about a single question that I was answering. I was always like stuck between two answers, and I was like, I'm just gonna make an educated guess. And I felt like I made educated guesses throughout the entire exam. I think there was maybe 2 questions I was like, this is definitely the answer, this is easy, and then everything else was like my best guess. So by the time I got to 65 questions, I was literally counting down in my head to 75. But I had to keep telling myself, if I reach 75 and I all of a sudden get to 76, that's when I'm going to raise my hand and take a break, talk to myself, give myself that pep talk, like, listen, you may get all the questions and you can still pass, but that was going to be my break point. Instead, I got the blank screen and I flipped out for a second. I was like, 75! I hear most people pass in 75, but 75! So I was glad. I was honestly just glad the test was done and over after that. No matter how hard, no matter how good or bad it went, whether I passed or failed, I just told myself I need to be proud and relieved that it was done. And if you guys are struggling with the same thing and you're waiting on your test score, be proud. Celebrate the fact that you wait and you took it, that you worked hard, you studied hard, you finished nursing school, which is what brought you here to the first place. And that alone is something worth to be celebrated and to be proud of. Definitely make sure you get it in your head that you may not have 75 questions. I've been practicing 75 questions a day on UWorld to try to get in that mindset and try to do the best that I could in 75 questions, but that may not happen. I know people who have passed in 113 and 120, 76, and all 145. So yeah. I got home. I went to IHOP with my dad, which was nice. Got some coffee. Finally ate because I didn't want to eat that morning, but definitely take a snack before you go or something like that. And then I came home, and I am here in Trey's apartment right now, just chilling. But I got back, and I'm still waiting on my scores. I did try the Pearson View trick, which worked. I got the good pop-up. So apparently if you go back and try to re-register for the NCLEX, you have to wait like 3 or 4 hours to try it. If you go back and re-register and go through everything, including the payment process, you just put in a different expiration date on your credit card to make sure that you don't actually get charged for anything. And then apparently the bad pop-up is when it tells you that your credit card expiration date is wrong, which means that it was going to let you pay and re-register. And the good pop-up is when it says you have a scheduled test in progress. You cannot re-register at this time. So I got the good pop-up, but I'm still kind of hesitant to say like, oh, I passed. So now I'm just waiting on the email that tells me where to find my license. So I'm just taking a chill pill, and yeah, I'm gonna link my video down below where I talk about how I studied for NCLEX. I did the UWorld subscription that gave me a self-assessment. I did the self-assessment about a week and a half prior to my NCLEX, and I bombed it. And by bombing meant, I mean, I got like a 49%, and I think it was like 100 questions or something like that. I don't remember how many exactly. But I got a 49%, and it has different levels of passing. So you have a low chance of passing, borderline, good chance of passing, high chance of passing. And I got low chance of passing, which just really freaked me out. I was in tears. I did it in the morning thinking that doing it early in the morning would help me, and it didn't. So I ended up calling my fiance, crying like, I'm not gonna pass NCLEX, please come help me study. And he was sweet enough to come out and help me. But guys, I know plenty of people who had poor UWorld scores, but once they sat down for the NCLEX, they did fine. You have to trust your knowledge, you have to trust your gut. And the thing about UWorld is that the percentages aren't totally accurate, because you have people doing UWorld who have just started studying for NCLEX, or maybe have just started nursing school, and you have people who have been studying for a really long time. So the averages aren't super true to how much study time you've done. If they did people who studied like 3 weeks and more on UWorld specifically, and then you could take it, it might be more accurate. But just don't let the scores get into your head. You will be ready by the time you take it, and don't change your exam test date. The sooner you take it, the better, because you still have all that school knowledge with you before you start your new grad job, and you start getting a lot of like clinical skills, which can definitely throw you off when you're trying to prioritize with an NCLEX mind. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I am on the edge of my seat waiting for my scores, but hopefully by the next time you see the next clip, I will be sharing you my scores and have a passing score. Also, a quick shout out to the best moms out there. I don't know if I told you guys, but I did not study at all the day before NCLEX. That was a word of advice given to me that I found to be very valuable, and it helped really calm my nerves and anxiety. So my mom was kind enough to go get us a pedicure. So thank you, Mom, for treating me. They look so cute. And then shout out to my fiance's mom, who was sending me sweet notes all the time. I got one like every single day up until taking NCLEX, and including the day after NCLEX, for sending me some sweet notes. Isn't this so cute? So shout out to you. Hey guys, so it's been 48 hours since I took NCLEX, and I still haven't received an email yet from the State Board of Nursing, but it is around this time that you can look up your license number. It's like 2 days after you've taken it, so I'm with my parents because I'm going to look up my license number. And I know a few of my friends who took NCLEX the same day that I did who were able to look up their license number, so let's see if we can find it.
So is there like a place to go and like look up your number and stuff?
You can look it up on nurses.com. That's the website that like my job looks up my license number from to see whether or not I passed.
Aren't they going to send you a letter or a message or something?
Yeah, they'll send me an email at some point, hopefully within the next day or so.
Cool.
And then I will get like an official letter within the next 6 weeks, like in the mail, to like hold on to.
All right. sure you passed. You had to have passed.
I
All
sure
that
hope
studying.
so. 75 questions, you'd think I'd be able to pass, right?
We'll see.
This looks complicated. We're not astronauts.
Remember in the days when we didn't have computers? We had to wait for things in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
Our SAT scores came by mail.
Yeah.
Now you just look it up on the computer. What?
That, right there.
What?
That number.
What is the license? Does that mean like
That's my nursing license number. That's
You-
my RN number.
you passed?
I passed.
Oh my word! Yay!
You see?
All that study.
That my nursing license number. That means I passed. They won't issue you a license number unless you pass.
She's a nurse.
Oh my goodness, Maddie. Wow.
She's licensed.
I'm an RN.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Wow.
We have a
Yay.
nurse. We have a nurse. Yay! All that study, you're
I
done.
know, right?
You're like,
Thank God. I'm
you're
done
out of
studying.
school. You've studied. You've done your NCLEX,
It
and
makes me
now
feel so much better.
you've got a job.
Like, it's really hard not to pass in 75 questions, but all that waiting.
So what do
Like,
we do now? Do you have to wait for like a
celebrate.
card or?
We go get Indian food and celebrate.
Yeah.
No, I'll get my badge once I go to work, but they look up
Oh,
my
okay.
license once I go to work, and they'll issue me a badge, and I can go in with my RN badge.
And
too.
how long is it good
Cool.
for?
It's good. I have to renew it every 2 years,
Okay.
I think.
Like
my
you have to take
license.
that test again every 2
No,
years?
mm-mm. You only take the test once, but you have to pay to re-register your license.
Gotcha,
Kind of like
okay.
how I register for like the basic life support
Oh,
every
yeah.
year, like
Yeah,
CPR
yeah.
and stuff. It will
Okay.
be the same thing.
Sweet.
So-
No more tests.
That's it? That
That's
means
it.
that's it for sure?
She's
That's it.
official.
Wow.
We can get sick now.
Oh
Wow.
no, don't get sick. No, I don't want this to be my first day at work. Yay.
It's not exactly suitable for framing, but it's cool.
Yeah.
She can wear this one.
Yeah.
As a badge.
I got a
So
badge.
sweet. Yes. We have a nurse in the family.
Yay.
Good job. Congratulations.